Hi, Bello. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, how are you?
I am fine, and you. Thank you for joining.
You're welcome.
All right, so we just be patient a bit so that others too can join.
No problem.
Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. So want to wait a few more minutes for others to join. Thank you for joining. Hi, Jamila, welcome. I hope you can hear me. Welcome, welcome. So we're trying to wait maybe 2 minutes for others to join. I hope you guys can hear me. You can react, please let me know. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so a few more minutes, maybe like 2 minutes, and then we'll just proceed. Welcome, welcome. Few minutes, few minutes. Well, we can drop our name in the comment section. So let's know. I want to know, is this our first time here or is this our second time? So just write your name in the comment section and indicate, are you a first timer or a second timer? Let's get to know each other, please. Please. Second timer, we see you. Nice one, nice one. Yep, yep, yep. Welcome. So just one more minute. Our first time. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. Make sure you stay till the end. Second timer, that's good. Impressive. Thank you. So if you're just coming in, drop your name in the comment section and let's know, are you a first timer or a second timer? Not the first time. Nice one. Good to have you back. Good to have you back. Good to have you back. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so let me present my screen. Okay, so last week we had a session on financial wellness. And today is going to be much more practical. Today we're going to be looking at how to create a budget and stick to a budget. So the thing about this topic is this topic resonates to me the most. Like this is my favorite aspect. Since I started managing my money, budgeting is what has really helped me, right? So this is for you if you want to improve your relationship with your money, if you want to improve how you handle your finances. So you're going to enjoy the session. Who knows, you might want to pick up a pen just in case. All right, so let's proceed. So I think almost everybody here know me so far, but I'm going to introduce myself again. My name is Afsat Itonla. I'm actually a chartered accountant. And I like to call myself a personal finance mentor because I want to be with you at every step of the journey, not just the beginning. I want to be here with you while you move from one financial stage to another. And this is something that I've been doing for over the past few years because I had an episode, not an experience like that, but then due to some circumstances, it made me realize that I needed to be responsible for my finances. I needed to take care of my finances myself. And since then, it has really been helpful. And one of the biggest things for me during that period was adopting the use of a budgeting, was adopting the use of a budget. So today I'm going to be showing you and telling you how budgeting has been working for me and how you too can adopt it into your daily life. So our learning objective today is we're going to look at budgeting, why it's important, obviously. Now, wrong approach to budgeting. People keep getting it wrong to some extent, right? I'm going to tell you about it so that you will not do that. Then now we're going to look at a practical way to create a budget. Yes, I came with a template that I'm going to show you. And now there's one very important thing when it comes to budget is differentiating our needs from our wants. We're going to look at that. We're going to also talk about budgeting mistakes that you should avoid and then how to stick to your budget. So if you have question at any time during the presentation, just drop it in the comment section. Just drop it in the comment section. We're going to have time to go over it. So thank you very much. I hope we are together. Please feel free to thumbs up. Let me know we are together. And if you cannot hear me at any point, please call that to my attention. Thank you. So now we're going to go in. Let's dive in. So what is budget? So basically, in simple terms, budget means it's an outline of your income and then your expenses, basically. So the primary goal here is it's a roadmap. So the thing about budget is before your money comes in, that is when you're supposed to make use of a budget. So simply put, it's just an outline of all your income. Okay, this is my income, salary, business income, and then this is my expenses. So bringing everything out, like displaying it so that you can tell at a glance that, okay, this is my income and this is how I want to spend my money. Budgeting means you defining how you want to spend your money at every point in time. And what is the purpose? First of all, is to enable your expense to align with your income. We used to talk about living within your finances. Or if your income is 100,000 and your expense is 150,000, my dear, you're getting it wrong. So budget will make sure that your income and your expense is either at par or your income is above and your expense is below it. That is where we want to get to. So it's also good for you to track your spending habits. When you see your budget every time, you can tell that, oh, this is what I spend my money for. This is what takes my money. Like when I just ask you randomly that, do you know what takes your money? You might be like, food. Yeah, apart from food, what else? Can you break them down? Can you identify all of the things that you spend your money on? Another important thing is it's going to show you wasteful spending habits. Most of us have some spending patterns that are not really good. And then budgeting will help you figure out that, okay, for instance, maybe in a month you realize that you spent, let's say, like 20,000 or 30,000 for airtime. So when you see that amount in reality, it might seem ridiculous to you, right? And then you realize that, no, I cannot be spending this much when it's not like MTN is my father's company. So as a result, you'll be able to identify where you are spending excessively and find a way to reduce it and make sure that you have a very healthy money habit. So now there's this thing I want to talk about. It's called mental budgeting. So if I ask you now, do you used to use a budget? In fact, drop it in the comment section. I want to know, do you use a budget? Let me get a yes or a no. A no, okay, okay. So do we use budget? Let's see, yes or, oh, okay, it's even no. Okay, it's no. All right, okay, we have yes. So the thing is, for the few of us that actually use budget, I've come to understand that most people use what they call a mental budget. Yes, you say you have a budget, but it's all in your head. You don't write it down. You don't bring it out to document it that, okay, this is my income and this is my expense. Please give me a minute. My slide is hanging. Let me share it again. Yes. 1 second. Yep. Okay. I hope you can see my slide. So yes, many of us operate on a mental budget. We say we have a budget, but it's in our head. We are budgeted that, oh, when the money comes, I'm going to pay for groceries. I'm going to buy groceries. I'm going to send money home. You're not going to write it out. You just put it to your head. You do the calculation about it. To be honest, that is not really a budget. If you are doing this, you need to get rid of it. Why? Because it's spontaneous. You're just doing it in your head, which means there is going to be loopholes. There's going to be setbacks because you can just adjust it at any time, and that doesn't make sense. When it's too flexible, extremely flexible, it is too bad. So there are a lot of setback. One is it leaves room for oversight and miscalculation. Today in your head, you're like, I'm going to spend 10,000. I'm going to buy a shoe worth 10,000. You go to the market, you see a shoe 15,000, you buy it. That's because automatically you cannot quickly remember that if I buy this shoe of 15,000, there is something I will have to forfeit for 5,000. Is when you get back or you now realize that I think I've touched inside my savings, or I think I have to borrow money to offset it. Another one is it makes it challenging to track your progress. You don't know if you're moving forward, if you're moving back. You don't know where you can cut down on your expenses. You don't know what is taking up your money. And the habits there, it's going to be difficult for you to stick to your plan, to stick to your goals if you are not using a practical budget. So you see all those mental budgeting that you're doing in your head, we have to get rid of that. We want to be using documented budget, like you use biro or pen, or even better, a template. And we're going to get into that very soon. So before we proceed, just like last week, I'm going to drop a link and I want you to quickly answer this question. So what type of budget do you work with? It's 2 questions you're going to see. Let me drop the link to it. So yes, I've shared it. So please kindly minimize and let's go there and answer the question. All right, so I'm going to be sharing my screen now. I'm waiting for your votes. So what type of a budget do you often work with? I think some of us have even answered this question. Mental budget. See what I am talking about. We are using mental budget. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Just click on the link. If you're just coming, click on that link and vote. So what type of a budget do you often use? I'm sure it's at the market when you want to buy something, you'll be doing analysis, you'll be doing plus and minus. That is very, very unhealthy. Please, I need more votes. Let's know what kind of a budget do you use? Written budget, or now that we can differentiate the two, written budget or Oh, okay. We have somebody that uses a digital budget. That's nice. That's nice. Oh, okay. Mental budget is taking the lead. Mental budget is taking the lead. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Now this is the tie. Very good, very good. Let's see who's going to bring the tie for us. Do we use a mental budget or do we use a written budget? At least one more person should vote now. Oh, okay. We are back to mental budget. So now there is a second question. Let's proceed to the second question. So now, what is your biggest challenge with creating a budget? Like, for most of us that are not even using a budget, why don't you use a budget? For those of us that use a mental budget, why do we use a mental budget? Why can't you just sit down and before your money comes, you write everything out? So, so can you access the link to it's the same link? You said the second question. So just drop it. It's like a word cloud. You type it. I'm not seeing your vote, so I'm not seeing your votes. Let me copy the link again and share with you. Procrastinating, unforeseen expenses, interested. So what else is the challenge? Apart from procrastination, do you think it's maybe time consuming or something? Is it time consuming? Your income is, this is not so clear. You wrote income and something. I don't understand the other part. You might want to write it again. You can write as many as you want. So what of time consuming? Is it time consuming? Do you think it's time consuming or you don't write your budget because you don't know where to start from? I'd like to see more votes before we go back to our slide. You're feeling lazy. Who is feeling lazy? Okay, we can say that is similar to procrastinating then. Yes. Unforeseen expenses. Okay. I'd like to see more because we're going back to our slide very soon. Procrastination. Okay, procrastination is coming. If we are procrastinating, and then I guess we feel like it's difficult or it's time consuming or it's stressful. Can we have, let's say, like one more person, one more person? So you can find the link in the comment section if you're just joining. You can find it there. You can just follow the link and let us know what is your biggest challenge when it comes to budgeting. Feeling lazy, your income is not enough. Budget, thank you. Okay, lack of the technical know-how, exactly. I was expecting that as well. Okay, yes, yes, lazy. Okay, so I think we have a lot of things in common. Procrastination, feeling lazy, not knowing how to do it. So we're going to cover that again in more details. Thank you very much for participating on that. So let's go back to our slide. So yes, some of the common challenges with creating a budget, in addition to the ones you've already mentioned, is some of us feel like it's time consuming. To be very honest, it's not so time consuming. Maybe the first stage, the first month, let's say you want to start making creating budget, maybe this month, it might be time consuming, but I assure you, subsequently it's going to feel better. So I've been working with somebody and the first month that we had a session, oh my goodness, we modified that budget back and forth, back and forth. But now by the second month, third month, even before I even send him a message, you're like, after my budget is ready, go and check it. It gets better. So you have to start small. Start small. Okay, draft it this month. And then over time, you start getting better at it. I know another challenge most of us face is we don't know the financial know-how on how to do it. And that is what we are doing here today. Also, you don't need to maybe use a pen and paper or create the template by yourself. You can get a template, a very easy one, navigate it, use it. Life is easy. Another challenge is the emotional barrier. So the thing is, most of us don't want to face. We don't want to see the fact that our expense is actually more than our income. Maybe if you get it, blood pressure, your BP will go up. So because we're afraid of that reality, we don't want to do it. But what you need to understand is, I swear to God, budgeting can help you eliminate financial anxiety. It has worked for me, right? So there's this feeling, this sense of relaxation that comes when you know that you see the money, you see how much you have, and then you know that, okay, I might not be able to do this now, but if I plan properly, if I'm being very serious, if I'm being intentional, in the next 2 months, I'll be able to achieve it. So it gives you clarity. It gives you clarity. A few months ago, I had a friend that was very, very confused. She wants to pay rent, she wants to buy phone, she wants to do a lot of things, but she was not writing anything down. So it felt too overwhelming for her. We had to sit down together, go over it. And that's when she now prioritized. I'm like, okay, for the first 3 months, I'll work towards this. After I do this, I'll now be able to afford this. Like there's clarity that comes with it. And then another one is changing life circumstances. So most of us feel like maybe there could be today you're working, tomorrow you're not working, or you change jobs, all of those things. Because of those breaks in between, you feel like, how can you navigate it? Well, the thing is, you have to be very flexible. For instance, I used to work a few months ago, I was working. Now I am a jobless student and my income has reduced. My expenses too has also changed. So you have to be very flexible, and a budget allows you to be flexible. So before we also go further, I want us to debunk some budgeting myths. So most of us are held back because we feel like budget is restrictive. My dear, it is not. Are you not the one that will create your budget by yourself? You are, honestly. You are the one that will define how you want to spend your money. If you feel like your priority is savings, you will put it. If your priority is this, you will prioritize it. So it's not restricting you. You will make it align with your priorities. Another thing is, we think budget is for people that are in trouble, my dear. Whether you know road or you do not know road, using Google Map is very, very good. So you don't need to be in financial trouble before you start using a budget. I use a budget. A lot of people use, even Nigeria as a budget. Although we don't want the type of Nigerian budget, please. I want good budget. So it's like a direction, it directs you. Another thing is, we think it's time consuming. Like I said, maybe the first time it will be time consuming, but subsequently, I assure you that it's not going to be as demanding as it was initially. And then another one is, budgeting kills spontaneity. My dear, it doesn't. It doesn't. Let me give you a practical example. Just 2 days ago, in fact, yesterday I was at the market. I saw a shoe and I got it. I kid you not, I have not provided for it yet in my budget, but I already know that my budget will be able to absorb it. So I got that shoe, and what I did when I came back is I did a trade-off. I checked, okay, since I have bought the shoe, what am I forfeiting this month? And then that is it. So it doesn't stop me from being spontaneous once in a while. You just have to be smart about it. You just have to be open to the flexibility. So this brings me to this part. Like, we are currently reading The Richest Man in Babylon, for those of us on the group chat. So this paragraph says, the purpose of a budget is to help your purse to fatten. Your purse to fatten in this essence is like, maybe you have a savings target, you want to build wealth. The budget will help your purse, your wealth, your income to increase. It is there to have it helps you to have your necessities, and insofar as attainable by other desire. Insofar as attainable, our desire is long, it's too much. We want to do a lot of things. So the ones that are going to be attainable based on our income will most likely be able to attain those ones too. So like a bright light in a dark cave, a budget will show up the leaks in your purse and will enable you to stop them and control your expenditure for gratifying purposes. So if you are mismanaging your money, if there are places that you're spending excessively, your budget will make you see that, oh, your grocery budget is too high, or your feeding or your transportation budget is outrageous. You'll be able to identify all of those things and modify your budget. I hope we are together. Please drop something in the comment section. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know if we are together. You can react.
We are together.
Thank you very, very much. I hope I'm not too fast either. All right, so we are going to be looking at wrong approach to budget. Now, why am I telling you wrong approach? So that you will not do that, right? Exactly. So the first one is, whenever we are making budget, we'll make a superficial draft. Superficial in the sense that we are not going to budget for everything. You earn 100,000, you make provision for grocery 30,000, you make provision for transportation 20,000, family 10,000. The remaining money, how do you intend to spend it? Maybe by the time you're already going deep, you're realizing that it's like, my income is not enough, so you run away from it. That is not how budgeting is going to work. If you want to budget your income, you have to be thorough, go all out, direct your even to the last 1,000 naira, direct where it's going to go to. A second, let me share again. Our screen has decided to hang. All right, so let's continue. Yeah. So another one is we create a budget after incurring some expenses. This is typical for us. You go to the market, you buy something. Maybe the thing is pricey. After buying it, you now go home. The remaining 50K, you now start allocating it. I don't understand. Why didn't you make the allocation before you went to the market and spend your transportation for the month? It's when you realize that your money is not going to be enough, you now start carrying paper and trying to minimize it. No. It doesn't work that way. Create your budget before spending money. In fact, before the money comes, ideally is before the money comes. I create my budget before that, before I receive that alert. I already plan, okay, this money that I'm expecting on Saturday, this and this this is the way I want to spend that money. So another thing is relying solely on budgets, mental budget. No, we cannot be doing this. You cannot be expecting, you're not that a mathematician. Even if you're a mathematician, you don't want to be doing plus and minus every time you're in the market. You already know how much you're taking to the market. You already know how much you're going to spend on feeding and this and that one. And then finally, budgeting beyond your income capacity. When it's not like you're Nigeria, why are you budgeting beyond your income? You want to go collect loan from who? You want to borrow money from who? You want to disgrace yourself. If your income is 100,000, expect your budget, your expense, your budgeted expense should be 100,000 as well. I don't want to see 110 or 115. No, you have to outline everything. Your income, expense. You cannot go and be borrowing or budgeting 50,000 naira extra. Who is supposed to come and offset it for you? Nobody. So you budget based on your income capacity. So now if we now want to create a budget moving forward, how do we start? So the first thing you want to do is identify your income. I would say this is actually the easiest thing you can do. Why? Because you are either working or you're a student or something, you're receiving money. So if you're receiving money, that amount you receive is your first source of income. Is it salary? Is it stipend? Is it business income? Is it, you already know, and you can tell how much is it. Is it 200? Is it 500K? You already know how much it is. So it's very easy for you to identify it. After you have identified all your income, the next thing you want to do is list and categorize your expenses. What do I spend money on every month? For me, for instance, it's mostly feeding. It's food, though. It's food. Food and then maybe transportation once in a while. And then I like to buy books, this and that. So the thing about our expense list is it could be very long, but there's also a way for you to categorize and lump sum together. For instance, when you pay NEPA bill, when you pay for water, when you pay for cleaning, they are all under utilities, right? So in the first time, you can separate all of them, but after a while, you can categorize that, right? So that at a glance, you can tell that, oh, I spend at least 30,000 for transportation every month. Or my utilities is 40,000, my feeding is 35,000, worst case, you have an idea of what you're spending your money on. Not like if I ask you now, how much do you spend on transport? And like, I don't know, but I sure used to spend. We don't want that again. So after you've done that, the next thing you want to now do is when you're actually preparing the budget, you want to prioritize based on your needs. So this one is just a pro tip. It's not the norm. Ideally, if let's say you have loan and paying back your loan is one of your priorities now, you might want to prioritize it first. Oh, okay, loan 10,000. The next thing is, oh, if you want to save first, otherwise your needs, which is your essentials, that's like feeding, transport, utilities, those are what we come first. In fact, we're going to look at that very soon. And then your wants. The thing about want is all those things that we desire. I want to go out. Oh, I want to go party. Oh, I want to buy that shoe. You have shoe, not like the shoe is, you have shoe, but you still want to buy more. So all of those and then endless list of desires are your wants. It should come at the bottom. And then the last step is balance. It should balance. Your expense is either less than or equal to your income, not the one that your expense is more than. Once it is more than, it means you are living above your means because your means is 100,000. Why is your expense 110,000? So before we now go to the practical aspect of this session, we're going to try and differentiate our needs from our wants because most of us don't really know how to differentiate it. Now, what are needs? Needs are the things that you need from the word need, to survive. For instance, food, clothing, necessary clothing. Yes. Transportation, you have to transport yourself to work, because if you don't go to work, how will you earn money? Those are needs. So they are very, very essential, right? So examples are food, housing, clothing, and the like. Another thing about need is if it is not satisfied, there's a chance that it could lead to a negative impact on your physical or even mental well-being. So this add context to it. So if you don't eat, how will you be able to have energy to work? If you don't pay rent, how will you have a place to stay? So that makes them your needs. Wants, on the other hand, are items that might kind of like improve your living condition and status, or to make you feel good generally. But you need them to survive, not entirely, right? So examples could be maybe jewelries, clothes, big cars, latest iPhone. That's when you have a functioning phone that is good, and Android that can serve the same purpose. So another thing about wants is if it is not satisfied, it don't necessarily have an impact your physical or mental well-being. Because most times those wants is because of that status that, oh, I'm a boy, I'm a big, those are unnecessarily. But then, depending on your specific living situation, right, that item that is your need can be a want, and a want can become a need. So for instance, like the example down here is, if you need a book for classes or a laptop for classes, then it's a need. But if the laptop is literally just for seeing movies, when you can do that on your phone, then it's a want. So identifying this makes you able to prioritize which should come first and which should come second. For instance, if maybe where you are, the environment is very, very cold, you need cardigan, it is essential. But if there is heat and you say you want to buy cardigan, it's just a want. Why? Because you want to do photo shoot or something like that, right? If you have a car, it is okay. It could be a need because you need the car to be transporting yourself to work. But if you have a car, a functioning one, or you say, no, is that very, very extremely expensive one you want because you want to show your village people, then it becomes a want. So it can fluctuate. Another one is maybe our mental health. For instance, you want to go on a vacation. Sometimes vacation could be a need. You need it. You need that rest. So a vacation could be a need. Or if you are fine and maybe just money came to your account and like, like I want to travel, I want to go on a vacation, it could now become a want. So this way, you should learn how to prioritize. But the thing is, the rule of thumb is your needs should come before your wants. So I hope that was interesting. We want to move on to do a short budget creation demo. I'm going to be changing my screen now. I hope we are good. Let me get some thumbs up before I change my screen. Are we good? Are we good? Let me get a yes or no. I'm about to change my screen. Hello. Okay. Okay. Yes, we are good. I'm glad. All right. So now we're going to be going for a short budgeting demo. Okay. A minute. Oh. All right. I hope you can see my screen. Somebody should please unmute and respond because I can't see the main screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
All right, so this is a simple and very easy to use template. So this is a template I created, Money Tracker by Afsa. Very, very easy to use. So now what it else you do is to budget your money. So based on what I've said, when we want to budget our income, our money, what do we do first? We identify our income. So if you come to this side here, I have several income categories, right? So let's say salary. It could be salary. So give me a figure, please. Who's going to give me a figure? How much are we earning?
300.
50,000. Okay, 300,000. There are rich people on this call. So apart from salary, you could have stipend, maybe incentive, bonus at the end of the year, investment income, gifts, business income. Other times, your loan could form part of it. Depends. So let's assume that we also have business income of about, let's say 50,000 or 100,000. Let's put 50,000. So now every month you earn 350,000. How are you going to budget this money? So based on what I said earlier, you want to prioritize your needs over your wants. Every month we all need to eat food. So basically, feeding and grocery is your food. Or you might want to give a description, maybe food stuff or something like that. And based on your previous experience, or you can carry a paper and pen and try to itemize what are the things you buy. Oh, Indomie, 1 carton, this, plus everything, you get a good figure. Or you can just do, okay, maybe spaghetti, a carton, maybe 12,000 plus 5, you can itemize everything, or you can just come and put the total figure here, let's say 50,000. Now we budgeted for our feeding. What of transportation? You have to go to work, right? So maybe transportation, you say to work and from work, or visiting and stuff like that. Other times traveling too can fall under transportation. You put 30,000. So now what is remaining? We're having 270,000 remaining. You can see it, it's indicating. So that's how you're going to keep prioritizing. Oh, after your transportation, what comes? Utility, you have to pay NEPA bill, you have to pay, let's say, NEPA bill. That's if you're staying on your own, you want to pay NEPA bill and the like. Maybe you pay for cleaning, you pay for water. It could be 20,000, it could be more, it could be less. You know how much you spend, more than I do. Or basically, most of these things are amounts that you can easily tell. For instance, NEPA bill, you already know every month is within 6,000 to 10,000, plus your cleaning bill. After that, you go, what is the next important thing that you have to do? Maybe subscription. All of us cannot do without data these days, right? It could be subscription. Maybe there are some tools that you do use that helps your daily life. For instance, I use Canva all the time. If I'm doing Canva subscription, it's going to fall under here, right? You might want to write maybe like 15,000. Now you're budgeting this money and it is reducing. So you can tell that, oh, you still have more money. It is going down, it is going. Or you also want to make provision for your personal and health care. Or maybe there are some things you have to buy, medication or something like that comes under here. 30. So there is a list category for almost everything that you need. If is it rent, is it furniture, do you have a pet, insurance, toiletries, education, family, yes, black tax. You can either put it under gift and donations. That's those small 2K that you need to. So down to that urgent 2K that you do, right? You will make provision for it. So that's what this budgeting will help you do. Also, yeah, there is still like a summary here that shows you. So now what happens is at the end of the month, or whilst you're spending that money, let's say, for instance, you receive your monies today and tomorrow it's weekend, Sunday, you want to go to the market. You go to the market. When you come back, you already know that, oh, you've spent your money. You can come here, 45,000. Immediately after you spend that word, you can just come and write it down. Okay, sorry, 45,000. Now you can see the signal is still green, but if, for instance, it is 55,000 naira, you are seeing red. So this is telling you that you budgeted 50,000. Why did you spell 55,000? Automatically in your head, you already know that something has to foriko in Yoruba. Something has to, you have to forfeit something for that extra 5K that you've spent. Maybe, for instance, transportation, you budgeted 30,000. While you go, so the thing about this budgeting, before there used to be an expense tracker, but a lot of us find it challenging to track our expenses every day. So now a better way is you don't need to track your expenses every day. You can lump them. Or for instance, there are some expenses that will happen automatically. For instance, a NEPA bill, you know whenever they bring the money is fixed. So all those amounts that are fixed, once you pay them, just come here and update it. It could be within the week. In fact, once your money comes in, the ones that are fixed, that are very essential, set it immediately. For instance, let's say you have loan and you're owing maybe your sister money. Once they send you that money, you're owing 50,000. Once your money comes in, instead of tracking, just credit our account and come and indicate that you have paid the 50,000, it has gone. Family, also that way, you don't need to be tracking it everything. And maybe for your transportation that you know that is very flexible, I know a lot of us have different bank accounts. So you might want to remove that 30,000 from your GT to your maybe Kuda or your PG, so that you know that anytime that you're spending from Kuda, it is for transportation. So that way, if you have to transfer more, you already know that my transportation is no longer 30,000, it was 35,000. So now this place too, you can see the total figure. So this provision here is if, for instance, you made provision for loan twice. Under here, let's say you're owing your brother as well, you can come here and write, okay, you're owing your brother 40,000, you make provision for it. If at the end of the day, you pay your brother the 40,000, you can see that your total loan payment now is no longer 50,000, but 90,000. And that is what this summary here is showing you. It is showing you that it is 90,000 that you spend. So some of the items on this list can come once or twice, and then here you'll be seeing the aggregate. So the good thing about this budget is it shows you signal. Are you overspending? Are you underspending? And then not just for 1 month, for it is 12 months worth. There is for February, there is for March, April, everything. All you need to do is click here, you come into here, you budget. But the places with zero, you cannot tamper with that because they are formularized. The good thing again about this budget is once you go to the next sheet, is an annual overview. You can see what you're spending your money on. At a glance, you can tell that, okay, this is how much I made in January, and this is what is taking my money. So imagine checking this after 1 year, or after 2 months, or after 3 months. You can already tell what is taking your money. And if you don't like it, you can redefine it. How am I spending 200,000 on feeding? Is it family of 20? Then you start being serious about how can I reduce this? How can I reduce? Should I be buying in bulk? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? So the budget is showing you what you ought to do. I hope we are together.
Yes, we are together. Yes.
Yes. So that is it. A very, very easy to use budget. For the next month, and the thing about the budget, maybe the first month you might find it challenging trying to list out all your expenses. But by the time you go to February, you are most likely going to not really copy and paste, but you already know what you are forfeiting. Oh, last month I bought shoe. I don't need to buy shoe again this month. It's no longer going to be in your budget, right? And then you move on to the next one. So let me try and go back to our slide. Give me a second. Okay, so let me reshare my screen. Yep. Where are we now? So we've done this. But another thing about budgeting is most times, it's not every time we know how we want to share our money, right? We don't know how you want to allocate it. So I like to give like a mini budget allocation guide. And one is, our screen is hanging again. My apologies. Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. I hope you can see my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we are seeing it.
Yeah,
we can see your screen.
So as a guideline,
Yes.
maybe you don't know how you want to allocate your budget. What do you do? So the first one is the minimum one is save 1/10 of your income. So if, for instance, you earn 100,000 naira and you're not really good at saving, you just want to start. From today, you might say, okay, I want to save 10% of my income. That is 1/10. So this is a rule by, I've forgotten the name. There are a lot of them. All of these rules that I'm itemizing, they are not from my head, right? So yeah, from The Richest Man in Babylon, the author of The Richest Man in Babylon, the least you want to do is save 1/10 of your income. So when you allocate 10% of your money for your savings, you know that the rest is going to be for your needs and for other things or your loan and all of that. If you've graduated from saving just 10% of your income, another one is you might want to use this Steve Acker's rule. So it's the 50-30-20 rule. This is the most popular budgeting rule. What is this telling you is that allocate 50% for your needs. I believe by now we know what is our needs. Clothing, food, transportation, utilities, all the things that you know you must use every month, right? They are very, very
Yeah.
Those are your needs. So 50% of your income should be for your needs. Now, 30% can go for your desire. So the thing about budgeting is it's your desire, right? Try to allocate for some of it. Why? Because if you did not eat small, you will not be able to save. That's the thing about life, right? So you want to be patting yourself on the back, small, small. So if 50% is for your needs, also make sure there's a provision for your desires, and then 20% can now go to your savings. So you can see that we are covering every aspect. But if we want to be very thorough, there's this 6-jar method. I've forgotten the name of the person that gave this 6-jar method. So now, if you're using this method, what is this thing telling you is that save 10% of your money should be for your financial freedom. So now what this is talking about is you could be saving maybe 10% every month for like 1 year, or what is the idea? The idea is maybe someday when you need to make a very big decision, you should have at least something that helps you, right? So if maybe, for instance, you are staying in a toxic workplace, God forbid, and then you know that it has become worse and you just need to be able to find your way out. So that money could actually be like an emergency fund as well, right? So it's a financial freedom account. Another one is long-term saving for spending. You're going to spend it, but you're not going to spend it now. So the this thing about spending money is that today you want to buy a bag, it's 5,000 naira. It's substandard. How about you save the money for like 4 months and buy a very good bag that is worth 40,000 or 20,000 that is good? So instead of you buying it now, you can be saving into that account that this money, okay, for instance, I can be big on birthdays at times, and I can start saving for my birthday from like January. So it's a long-term saving for spending, but that spending is going to fulfill something very good to me, right? Then 55% should be for your necessities. Then 10% can be for like your immediate spending to indulge yourself. 5% can be for charity, and then 10% can be for your education because you have to invest in yourself. So the thing about this is it's not cast in stone. You can be flexible. In fact, I do not use any of these rules. I use based on my situation. This is priority to me. At times, my saving can be the 50%. In fact, there are times where my saving was like 70% because I just needed to do it. That was the most important thing. I needed to do it, right? So it's not cast in stone. It's just a guideline. Tell you that, oh, budget for this, budget for that, budget for almost everything. So budgeting mistakes that we do not want to avoid, that we don't want to adopt is, number one is don't neglect your personal spending. Don't carry all your money and budget for your saving, your loan, your future, and you not budget for today. My dear, Nigerian pressure will make you go and open your savings and ball it in one day. So if you neglect to pat yourself on the back moderately, then there could be a day you just wake up and you're like, all dying and die. What if I die tomorrow? Is next of kin that will take my money. You're not going to carry all your savings and burn it because you are angry at Nigeria. So make sure you try as much as possible.
Excuse me. It's not only Nigeria that is there, like there are some other countries over.
Yeah, I know. My apologies.
Okay.
But then the idea is don't get frustrated about your current situation that you will then go and jeopardize all of your savings and all of your efforts. Because that's the thing we do. I'm sure you see it online. So people will be like me after I went to remove for my savings. So if you don't want to remove for your savings, make sure that there's little provision for your personal spending too. Because all work and no play, like I do say, makes absent a dull year. So there's always provision for my play. I cannot keep myself. Okay, so sorry, let me share this again. It has hanged though, it's village people. 1 second, let me bring this back up. Yeah. So, okay, yes. Another thing is don't make the mistake of prioritizing your wants over your needs. Your needs should come first. Needs is paramount. You cannot do without eating. You cannot do without transporting yourself. You cannot do without data to some extent, right? After the things that are essential, how will you go and be going for vacation or going for some things when you have somebody calling you, please send me back my money. I need my money. You don't do that to yourself. Your needs is essential. It's when you learn to prioritize your needs that you will now be closer to taking your goals. But if you keep putting your wants everywhere, you just open your saying, I want to travel to this, I want to buy that shirt, I want everything, then you will not have anything else. So another thing you want to avoid is you want to make sure is don't overlook black tax and gifts. It is very, very essential. Most of us have parents that we send money to, people that depend on us, right? Don't think that when they ask for you the money, that's why you now send it. Make a provision for them in advance. Like, accommodate them into your income already. Like, okay, I'm going to budget 10,000 or 15,000, and that is what you'll be sending. You communicate it with them and just make it easier. But if you disregard it and then they just call you like, oh yeah, Afsat, please send 20K is urgent. You now start running anky panky, like trying to find where should I get this money. Well, you already have a budget for it. Before they even call you that rice is finished, you have sent them money for rice. Right? So you don't want, in fact, those urgent 2K, sometimes your siblings, you already know that, okay, I'm going to keep 5,000 aside. So that if my sister calls me, that is where I'm going to take it for. When you're trying to avoid it, you don't want a situation whereby you have to now start breaking down your small savings that you're managing to start sorting unnecessary and unexpected expenses. And one thing that always helps me is setting for buffer. You can call it buffer, you can call it miscellaneous, but just a little amount. So what is this meant to do is, for instance, you can make budget for your feeding 30,000. You will now go to the market. Price of Gary has increased. Price of this have increased. Price of that one has increased. So before you start anxiety or stressed out and all of that, you remember that, oh, I have extra 10,000. Now that extra 10,000 will come and be what? Offsetting that, let's say, inflation to some extent, to help you. And so that why you don't want to go and jeopardize your goals. Maybe you are saving for a course you want to enroll in. You don't want a situation whereby instead of you to meet your savings target in 2 months, you have to meet it in 3 months because you kept going back to that savings. So you don't want to do that. And a way for you to not do that is by setting aside buffer or miscellaneous. So maybe like 5%, depends, just something little. If let's say your income is 100,000, at least 5 to 10,000 should serve as your buffer based on that your income. So now we are almost done. We're almost at the end. We want to look at how can you stick to your budget. So most of us cannot be tracking our expenses on the go. So what will help you, number one, is sort out essential bills immediately. If your money come, if you are contributing with your neighbor to pay rent, transfer that money ASAP. Your sister that owing money, transfer the money to her ASAP. Like, just like standing order, everything should go. So that whatever you remain, you know that, okay, face your reality. You know that, oh, this 50,000, this is what I have till another salary comes in. You know that is you and your reality. So this also means if you have a savings target, make sure you make provision for it. Another thing that can make you stick to your budget is if you make provision for your tithe, your gift, and your personal spending. If you don't make provision for personal spending, the chances that you end up spending all that money for your personal needs, for your wants, is very, very high. So you need to acknowledge that you have desires, but you cannot satisfy everything. So you can try to satisfy small. For instance, I used to do like a quarterly outing. I do that when I was in Lagos. So every, let's say, once in 4 months, I'll go to the beach, or I'll just do something, or I'll go to the cinema. I like going to the cinema. It's not every month, once in 4 months. And during that period, I'm saving around 5,000 or 10,000 that will come in handy during that period. I'm asking myself, I know what I can afford, what I cannot afford. And I try to fit everything into my budget. Another one is you want to make use of automatic savings. For instance, I love to use PiggyVest, right? I just transfer my buffer to, in fact, Piggy is where my buffer is, Piggy Flex. My buffer is there. Any miscellaneous I want, I'll go there and remove it. My savings, I've transferred to another account. God will not allow my village people to see me. That savings, but I've logged it, you get. So those are the things that can help you. Another thing is when you are going to the market, don't say, let me carry extra 20,000. I will see something that we like. You will see something that you like. No two way about it. You must see something that you like. So to avoid it, when you go there, say, sorry, next week I'll put it in my budget. Next month I will come, ma. That is it. But if you go with extra money, that's when you know, okay, no. And buy your necessities first. You have to go to the market and buy your necessities first. Exactly, right? Another one is avoid spending triggers. Okay, you don't want to spend money. You now say, my friend, please let's go window shopping. What are you window shopping? Like, I don't understand. There's some people that I've forgotten what they used to call this window shopping. Like they distress by buying things. You distress. You just go online and start shopping because you are stressed out. So avoid spending triggers like that. Or you go on Instagram, 90% of the pages you are following is come and buy jalabia, come and buy jalabia. You will buy that jalabia. So avoid it. So Your friend say, let's go out. To be very honest, I go out when I have money. If I don't have, babe, let's do next month. Let's do next week. Be honest with yourself. Avoid it. Speaking of which, next week, oh, everything from A to Z like this is how to avoid wasteful spending habits. That is what we are going to be dealing with. So if you want to learn how to attack all of those stuffs, make sure you are here next week. So another one is thoughtful spending, right? So most of us, we have this like impulsive spending. Like you're going out, you see something nice, this shoe is fine, let me buy it. Oh, this, let me get this. I think I need it. I think I need that. So the thing about impulsive spending is you cannot maybe eliminate it immediately, but you can gradually reduce it. One way is, let's say you see something you want to buy, you want to ask yourself critical, like, I'll come back tomorrow. You don't have to buy it immediately. Think about it. Do I need this thing? That black tie that I want to buy, I think I have now. It's when you go back home, you realize that, so I even have black tie. Thank God I didn't buy another veil, right? I think I have a white bag. It's going to go. Why do I need another one? So it's about questioning yourself. Before you make that decision, take a few hours, a day, 1 week to question yourself. Is it necessary? Is it not necessary before you make that purchase? So these are the habits. These are things that can help you stick to your budget. Before we end, because we're very close to the end, one thing I want you to know is it may look still stressful despite everything that I say. I've been using budget for like 2 years now. I like it. See, no matter those my fears, I tackle it. I will use budget. I will analyze how I will spend. I know what I can afford, what I cannot afford. I will identify it. So what will budget help you achieve? It will help you tick your goals one at a time. Your goals might feel like 1 million. But when you realize that you're taking it one at a time, you feel better, honestly. I remember when I wanted to leave Kano State to Lagos, it felt maybe not achievable to some extent. But I started looking at it, okay, if I save for this, I should be able to afford the transport, this, that. Before you know, I found myself there. I remember when I moved to my new apartment in Lagos, it was crazy. I moved into an empty room, only mattress, no bed sheet, nothing. I want to buy a lot of things, but I have limited income. But it was through the budget I realized that the most important thing for me is, okay, let me first buy my gas, then I'll buy pots, then I'll buy bed sheet, then I'll buy standing fan, one by one. Put them into your budget. Oh, this month, this and this. Next month, this and this. Believe you me, once you start taking it one at a time, you feel more motivated. You feel like, oh, I think I am actually progressing. Oh, I think I can even do more. Before 2 days ago, maybe it's buying something of 10,000 might feel too big for you. There are sometimes I feel like something of 10,000, you think 10 times. But gradually you get to a stage where something of 10,000, I can get it now. You're beginning to tick your goals one at a time. It's no longer perfect. They are now achievable. Another thing is it can help you develop healthy financial habits. When you see how your money is going out, you will know whether deep down you're feeling better about it or you're not feeling better. For instance, your expense is 100,000, your income is like 90,000. You start thinking, how can I increase my income? I need to increase this people. I need to increase this people. It start making you want to do better. Where can I cut down costs? Why am I spending so much on this and that one? How can I eliminate it, right? Another one is financial clarity, control. Like if you want to be in control, they say money is a tool. If you want to make money a tool to get more and to be in control, budget can help you because you are the one that will tell your money that I want my money to work here. I want my money to do this. I want my money to do that. So the thing is, most times, every time we receive money, what do? We pay everybody. We do not pay ourselves. We pay the tailor. We pay the market women. We pay Netflix. We pay Canva. We pay for everything. Did you pay yourself? So when you start directing how your money goes out, you feel better, like, oh, I'm in charge of my money. I'm setting up my money goal, not the one that at the end of the month, you're like, how did this money go? How did it finish? What happened? And then most importantly, that's why I kept it for the last, is it will help you navigate financial stress and anxiety. We have this every day, every time. Even I feel like, oh God, I need flight tickets. How can I afford flight ticket? That's like one of the biggest expenses for me right now, right? I already feel like, okay, I might not be able to do it now, but maybe 6 months, 7 months, I feel better because I can smell it when it's happened. Maybe because I'm a planner, most of us are not really like that naturally. I like to plan, I like to envision it. So when I envision it, it relieves my financial anxiety. So if you do that, if you adopt that, you know that I might not be able to get this in March, but I believe by July, I'll be able to do this big goal that have been on my mind. Oh, by December, I'll be able to clear up my debt. In fact, somebody last week reached out. I was like, oh, she has been able to do this. She can begin to see traction. You can tell that by December, I can afford this. By December, I can do this. You already know. You might not be able to do it now, but at least you have an answer. After, don't stress yourself. You cannot do this January, but you'll be able to do it March. It relieves, it works for me, and I believe it will work for you. So if there's one thing a budget will help you do, is to navigate financial stress. So this is a short budget. To save time, I'm not going to play this. I'm going to share the link in the group chat. It's just a short video that I created, right? So I think at this point we start dropping our questions and answers because we're very close to the end, right? So imagine a future where you're in control of your finances and you are free from wasteful spending habits. Are you going to bring that into reality? I believe so, because next week we're going to be looking about how can you eliminate wasteful spending habits. But if you're ready to hit the ground running now, like, okay, I need a budget in my life, or you need the template that I shared, I am here to the rescue, right? So a second, please. I don't know why this keeps hanging. But yeah, we are almost at the end. Just 5 minutes, 5 more minutes, and that is it. So if you want to hit the ground up and running, you want to do better with your finances, you can get my money tracker. So this is like the third version that I created. I use it. A few of my friends use it. I've sold some. And in fact, I'm doing a slash sales for all of us that are on this call, that are part of this financial webinar. This is something I usually sell for like 15,000. But as of today, till the end of our 4 weeks webinar, it's going for 5,000. I'm going to be dropping the link in the comment section. So the thing about this budget tracker is it's going to come with a demo video, apart from the short video I showed you. There's another video where you're going to see how to make use of the budget. There is also your allocation guide. And then if you experience any difficulty with using it, you can reach out to me. I can give you one tracker modification. I will jump on a call with you and help you modify it and make sure that it suits you. I can even help you customize it, but just once, right? And the good thing about it, it's online. It's going to be linked to your Google Drive. You will just connect it to your Google Drive and you can update it on your phone. You can update it on your laptop. You already saw the way it is. So from now until next week, it's going for 5,000. Thereafter, it's going to the original price. Alternatively, if you want to go beyond just creating a budget, to understanding how to create a budget, because the issue most of us have is accountability. We are not very, very accountable to ourselves. You use it for 1 week and you dump it. That is it. Or you don't know where to start from, or you don't know where to go from after everything I say. Well, you can have a one-on-one session with me. So just few people. I'm opening this to just 5 people. I'm a full-time student. I don't have time. So I'm taking just 5 people, which means is it fastest bidder or something like that. So for the next 3 months, starting from this month end, or starting from once you make payment, over the next 3 months, we're going to be having one-on-one session. So ideally, the first session is to show you how to create your budget. I will walk you through it. We are going to craft it out yourself. And then at the end of the month, we will do a review. So for like 3 months, we're going to do back and forth. So basically, we're going to be on 6 calls together. The initial call and the 5 other calls for about 20 minutes to review your progress, to give you one-on-one tip, and to address any challenges or questions that you want. So if you feel you can do it yourself, you are good with all of the knowledge, because I've given you so much already that can help you yourself. You can get just the tracker. But if you want something more personalized, you and I, to have call, I already have people that I do this with and it's working for them, right? So if you want a situation whereby you can always start from Afsat's brain for like 3 months, then you want to subscribe to a 3-month plan. And the best part is most of us, we say, oh, you don't have that money now, or you don't have the budget for it. So there is a subscription plan. Subscription plan is 13,000 monthly, that's 30,000. But if you want to pay for it outrightly and we get started, a lump sum of 27,000. So early payment, you get 3,000 less. Subscription payments, you get to pay 13,000 monthly. So it is really, really up to you. I am available and I'm ready. I want to make you feel better about your finances. This is 2024. If getting good with your money is part of your 2024 goals, then this is going to help you, right? So it's left for you to decide which of this you want to. So at this point, we are no more sharing. I am going to be taking questions and answer. I'm also going to drop the link to the feedback form so that you can fill it. So please, 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 let's drop our questions and answers. Let's drop our questions so I can answer them. Hello, everywhere is quiet. So this is our feedback form. I just dropped it.
Thank you.
Last week, I didn't get feedback. So this week, I want to know, are we enjoying the session? What did I omit? What will you rather I talked about? So please take time to fill the form.
Okay, so good evening, everyone.
Good evening, good evening, good evening to you.
So for the budget,
Yes.
I want the budget. So when is the deadline? I don't have money yet. So when is the deadline? You said from now to next week. So
Yes, that's because it's because of the these 4 week sessions that we're having. That's why I slashed the price. So from now till next week, you can access it. I'm going to drop the link on WhatsApp and a follow-up email. I'm going to drop the link to you. So you can purchase it. Immediately you purchase it, you're going to get off your feet.
okay. All
Yes.
right, thank you.
Yes, I'm also going to drop the link so that you can access it now. Yes. So any other question? Good afternoon. I can hear you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful session.
My pleasure.
For somebody like me, I joined pretty late, so I just want to ask if you are going to be nice enough to share your slides with us.
Okay, I'll be nice enough to share it. I'm also recording, so you're going to get a recorded version of this. So you can.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes.
And
okay.
So I saw your phone number on the slides, and I tried to dial the number during this session, but it wasn't going through. So
yeah,
if I need to,
apologies. Yes, it is WhatsApp only. You can only send me a message on it. Alternatively, there is my email address, moneychat@gmail.com. If you have any inquiries, you can send me email there. So that's the number I use on my WhatsApp on that group. So if you have less like a personal question during this period, feel free to enter my DM and we can get things started from there. So you can't call me on it, just WhatsApp.
All right, thank you very much for that clarification.
Thank you very, very much. Any question? I'm just seeing the chat box now. Village people. Yes. So yes, exactly. Avoid what I cannot afford, according to Lai. Avoid what I cannot afford. Please, I pray and hope that is going to be our mantra. So next week, we're going to be having our final session. Not our final session. We're going to be having a session on how to eliminate wasteful financial habits. Also, we're also going to look at some tips that can help you manage inflation. It was supposed to be part of today's session, but I don't want it to extend longer than this. So next week, we're going to look at that first. And we're going to look at our wasteful habits like gambling and all of those habits that we don't really like to talk about. And then how can we eliminate it before finally where we talk about how can we set goals, not just budget, how can we set financial goals for ourselves. So I really do hope you all are going to be available for those sessions.
Yeah, we're going to be there for you.
Thank you very much. So any more questions? We have like, let's say 2 more minutes or 1 minute. Questions, please. At least if there's no question, can I get a thumbs up then?
Hold on, I have a question though.
All right, please ask.
Like for instance, like someone is earning a salary of 30, like of 3,000 dirhams monthly.
Okay.
So the person now decided to make a discipline of himself, not just to be spending anyhow.
Yes.
So he decided to to budget himself like food stuff,
Yeah.
like as an amount of 400 monthly, you know. But at the end of the day, and he decided to make a budget of the transport to the workplace as well.
Yes.
Well, at the end of the day, he end up through the month by spending all the salary. Like he doesn't even achieve anything throughout the month. Like, how can someone make a discipline, like a certain discipline, just not to be spending anyhow? That is my own point of question.
Okay. And actually, that's the purpose of the webinar. You have to first start by identifying what are you spending your money on? Can you list everything? That 3,000 dirhams, can you show me how you spend in a month? How do you spend that 3,000 dirhams? So when you write everything out in your budget and you see the breakdown of that 3,000 dirhams, then you yourself, you will know if the amount is outrageous or if the amount is reasonable. For instance, how will your feeding in a month be like, let's say 600 dirhams to some extent, because I'm also here, I know what is obtainable. 600 might be too expensive, right? So even you, when you identify that, how do you spend 3,600 for only feeding, you can now start identifying, like maybe monitor yourself for let's say like a month. What did I buy? How did I buy it? How did I spend it? In fact, for you to spend 600 dirhams on your feeding, you probably bought maybe 5 kg rice. And that 5 kg rice is not 1 month, maybe 2 months, 3 months, right? So if it is 600 dirhams this month, it's going to be maybe like 400 or 200 dirhams another month. So when you write everything out, believe you me, you're going to identify whether you are spending excessively, whether there is room or there is not. And if worst case scenario, if your expense and your income is that 3,000, then it's time for you to increase your income. That is it. Now your expense is way above your income. How can you cut that gap? Is by increasing your income. You now have to start looking inward. What can I do? How can I do this? How soon can I increase my income? Should I start teaching tutorials? Should I look for extra gig during the weekend? Now you've identified, because you've come to terms with the fact that that 3,000 is no for you. You want to either maybe increase your income. Are you going to find another job? Are you going to request for a salary increment so that you can now start have money to keep aside? So the first step basically for you is to list out everything with a budget. Understand your money. Where is my money coming and where is my money going to? When you understand that, you can now start going back inwards to cut it out. So I hope that answers the question.
Thank you so much.
All right. So any other question? All right, it seems we don't have any more questions. Thank you all for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. This is only possible because you guys decided to join the call. So do expect the recorded session. That's for those of us that are probably distracted during the period. You can go over and watch it again. Please don't forget to give me a feedback. I'm also going to drop it on the comment in the group chat. So I'm going to drop it there. You can give me a feedback there. If you want to get the tracker or anything, just reach out to me and I am here for you. So thank you very much and see you guys next Saturday. Thank you. Thank you too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.